Hi there. I am Jennifer Elizabeth Masters. I'm a soul sculptor. I help you break out of the past patterns and issues that have kept you stuck and suffering so that you can live the life of your dreams. So today what we're going to discuss is breakthroughs versus breakdowns. You know, lots of people are alone together, coupled, or perhaps you are in a home where you're taking care of someone else, maybe a parent or a grandparent. And so we're spending a lot of time together alone. What can you do so that you have breakthroughs as opposed to breakdowns? So someone asked me today, when you're alone in a small space, what can you do when your partner is, let's just say, a negative Nancy or a negative Norman? So what would you do if you are quarantined with someone who's negative, that everything's a downer, you know, Debbie Downer? We've all been there. We've all done it. Here's the thing. You need to have a pact that you can't be both on the downside of your jumping on the spiritual trampoline. In other words, I'm down today, you can't be down today, so it's your turn to pull me up. The deal is in partnerships is that we help each other pull up. We help each other get out of a negative mood or a downward spiral, and we encourage them with love and compassion. When we focus on the negative, you've heard me say this before, I know you have, when we focus on the negative, when we complain and we bitch and moan, and all we see is you leave the toilet seat up, you don't put the cap on the toothpaste, you never take the garbage out. Well, you know, I'm getting to that, Jeffrey. I'm getting to that part. So here's the deal, is that one of the things that I got, you know, when I was preparing for this talk was that some of you have asked for more alone time, that you have asked, why don't we spend time together alone? Why don't we have more time together? Well, be careful what you wish for, people, because now you've got it. Now you have all the time in the world to look at one another and remember why you got together in the first place. And I'm going to just turn this around a little. Isn't this garden gorgeous? It is absolutely spectacular, absolutely beautiful. And so the focus, I've said it before and I will say it again. What's your focus? If you're going to complain, bitch, moan, die alone. That is one of my mottos. You can quote me, J-E-M, gem. It's one of my gems. Bitch, moan, die alone. So what we need to do is we need to focus on, okay, my partner is negative Nancy or negative Norman right now. What can I do to get him out of that mood? Or what can I do to get her out of that mood? You like that? Okay, so what you need to do is shift. How can I pivot? How can I, it's like playing basketball. Remember playing basketball and you had to pivot? You're standing in place and you just have to pivot where you're at. How can I change from bitching and moaning to remembering why I fell in love with this person in the first place? What was it that I saw in them that is the reason that I'm right here, right now? Why am I here today? Because of what I agreed to back then. And instead of focusing on the weaknesses, look at their strengths. So I'm going to give you all a game to play with your partner. And now, whether this is a romantic partner that you're with or not, it will work. So the first one is, I want you to look at your partner and tell them how wonderful they are. All the great traits about them that you love. Not, you snore, you kicked me in my sleep, you peed on the floor. I mean, all of those things are real, but we don't have to focus on them, right? They'll still exist if we don't talk about them. So we don't have to focus on them. Instead, shift, pivot. Remember what I said, we're playing basketball in place. We're stuck in the cabin. Pivot in place and focus your attention on their strengths as opposed to what's not right. Focus on what's good. Focus on what you love about them as opposed to bitching and moaning. And remember, you're going to end up dying alone. We don't want to do that. Okay. All right. So everybody take a breath, right? Take a breath. So there are people that are quarantined absolutely alone, and they are alone with themselves. And we'll talk about that tomorrow, okay? We're going to do that tomorrow. But in the meantime, if you are alone and you're facing loneliness, I have a YouTube video out. It's also in my Facebook feed for overcoming loneliness. But for right now, when we focus on the problems, problems are all we see. So we have to turn our attention and focus on the good. What's good here? What's wonderful about our partner? What do we love? Why did we fall in love with them in the first place? And then, okay, so that's the first step. I'm going to give you 2 games to play. And I'd like to see your report. I want to see your feedback. Tell me how this goes. So you're going to sit with your partner in front of you, and you're going to look them in the eyes. Look them in the eyes. And you're not going to squirm, you're not going to turn away. You might cry, you might feel awkward, you might feel uncomfortable. Even with people that we love and sleep with, this is a really challenging exercise to do, but it's very powerful. It will help you to get to the core of them and yourself, because you're seeing yourself in your partner, you're seeing your partner almost like they're bare naked, because you're really looking into their soul when you look eye to eye. So you're going to sit in front of them. You're not going to turn your head. You're not going to close your eyes. You have to look at them in the eyes. This is called eye gazing. It's a beautiful exercise. It will help to deepen love, deepen intimacy. It's a really great exercise. Okay, and then there's another one that I'd like you to play cards or a game. It could be a board game. And in the first round, what you're going to do is you're going to let your partner win. You know, remember when we were dating and you wanted your partner to feel wonderful and you wanted to give them all the kudos and all the praise and the wonderment and the joy? You're going to let your partner win with a plum. Not with a plum. Not with a plum that you eat, a plum. So you're going to let your partner win. I want you to have some fun with this. We can't have competition in our romantic relationships. And often we do. We compete for our kids' love. We compete for all kinds of things. You know, I'm the best at this. I'm the best communicator. Whatever it is, that's all ego bullshit. And it will not win you. It's not going to win you any awards in a relationship. We have to put our ego aside when we're in a relationship. It's not about winning. It's not about being right. Because when we focus on what's right or our being right, we lose the relationship war. It is not about us being right. Not ever. Now, of course, the other thing is being able to admit that we're sorry when we are. That's a big thing. Okay, so here's the encouragement piece. So I'm going to challenge you the next time, because you know, we ride the seesaw. We're going through tremendous change right now. We all need compassion. You know, the breakdown, maybe you need a good cry. Allow yourself to do that. We need to have time apart. So how can you get time apart from your partner that you are isolated with? Well, you could take a walk, and you could say, you know, I'm going to take a 15-20 minute run or walk, and I'm going to do this alone. For me, I need this time for me. It is not about me getting away from you. It is just, I need this time to regroup for myself. So you don't make it about them. You focus, I am going to do this. I'm taking care of myself. So I'm going to go take a run. Okay, so that's one thing we can do. We can also create projects. Surely there are drawers to clean out, cabinets to clean out, house cleaning to do. Make a pact that every day you're going to do something together that's positive for the space that you exist in. How about on Friday we shampoo the carpets, and I'll assist, and we'll take turns doing the carpet cleaning. So that's an idea. You could do what my son and his wife just did. They took down all the doors in their house and they painted them. Big project. So they feel accomplished together. It's a great idea. Okay, let me see what's going on here. Hi, everybody. It's so great to have you here. So the key is to focus on strengths, as opposed to telling somebody what a piece of shit they are. You're so darn negative. I can't stand being with you. That does not do anybody any good. It doesn't make us feel good, and it doesn't feel good to the receiver of those kinds of words. So I want to tell you a little story. There was an experiment done. There's a show on Netflix called 100 Humans, and they did this experiment where they gave 100 humans these sticks and plates, and they had them spin them on the stick, and then they put the stick, I think, on their chin, and this one woman was really great at it. And they did this experiment where they had them come to the stage, and on the stage, the guy in the middle criticized this woman that was fantastic, the best. She was the best out of 100 people at spinning that plate on the stick, the very best. And you know what happened? He criticized her. That was his role. The guy in the middle, the judges, criticized her and told her, oh, that was terrible. She knew what she did was great, but his criticism of her, when she came back an hour later to redo the test, she failed. She couldn't keep the plate spinning on the stick, even though she was the best at it before the criticism. She failed miserably. So criticism, as helpful as we think we are, is bullshit. It doesn't help us one bit. Praise, on the other hand, will inspire us to dream bigger. Praise will kick us to achieve more, will move us into our infinite selves. Praise is the way to go. So, praise, appreciation, gratitude, and what's the other one? Caring/love. Those are the 4 things I want you to practice. You are awesome. Boy, do you look hot in those shorts. I love it when you wipe the kitchen counters like that. Boy, your ass looks great. Whatever it is that you can think of, criticizing no more. You're going to praise your partner, let them know how wonderful they are and how much you love them. See how your time in captivity turns and changes rapidly. I'd like to hear your comments below. If you enjoyed this, share it with a friend. And if you're still in fear and anxiety after whatever is going on today or yesterday, on my website, jenniferelizabethmasters.com, there is a free download, Transmuting Worry. And yes, I do private sessions. I help people heal from trauma, anxiety, illness, depression, and even suicidal ideation. So yes, I'm unique in that I have walked through the fire of all of those things and healed them all on my own and live a joyous, happy, and blissful life. Wasn't always the case. So I love you guys. Thanks for watching, and please let me know how this works for you. I want your feedback. So report below. I love you so much. Thanks for watching.